Hey guys, welcome back to a Winter Blooded episode. Today we're going to do something a little bit different, and we're going to talk about the reptile license with the leopards and venomous in Queensland and the tier systems involved, and also we're going to check out the leopards that I have. But yeah, so basically we're just going to talk about how people would go about trying to get their venomous license, and then also what's involved once you have it too. Stick around. Hey, so we're going to start off just by talking about what you would need to even apply for this license. So first off, what you need to do is have some knowledge and understanding and experience of working with leopards and venomous animals. So you need to put yourself in a situation where you can work with them basically, or volunteer to work with them, with another keeper, with a zoo, with particularly anyone who has the license already. And they will then, after you've done some work with them for a few weeks or whatnot, they can write a reference of what they've seen you be able to do. So you're required to show two separate references from different people and different circumstances of you holding, handling, housing these animals. Yep, another great way to get another foot in the door is go do one of those venomous handling courses that will be around your city somewhere in Australia. There's always someone willing to give you a certificate for venomous handling, and that it's not too expensive, and it's normally a day or two of actual hands-on experience handling venomous animals. I did mine with Chris Hayes in the Gold Coast area. So another thing is you are required to have already had your recreational wildlife license beforehand, your reptile license, for at least a year before you can even try to apply. The courses that you do doing this also will let you be able to apply for the next stage of license, or different stage of license, for relocating the animals as well, where you can go out and be a snake catcher and relocate animals. But that's a separate license entirely to just owning the leopards. The next step after that, after you get your references, your certificates, you still need to get a couple more certificates. So you have to be up to date with your first aid. So you have to have your first aid certificate. You also have to have a room that is locked, securely locked, separate lock system. You also have to have signs, warning signs, letting anyone know who's coming into that room that there's going to be venomous animals in there, and to be cautious. No one should be really going to your room without a licensed person there. So I got signs on my door saying venomous animals. I've got locks. I've made sure that the room is snake proof, so no snakes can escape. No one can get in there without me. I've even got video cameras down here just to let me know if mysteriously someone can get in here. It also has a voiceover on the camera, so I can click a button and be like, "Hello, there's venomous snakes in that room." But yeah, so anyway, another requirement too is before you even apply, you have to prove that you have snake first aid kits, tools for the job, hooks, all different size hooks, feeding tongs, nets, and also the clamps. I can't find my clamps. I don't really like using clamps that much, so they're just in the corner somewhere, because you can harm the snake. So you just need to have all the required tools. You have to give video and picture evidence on the application, and more the better. So I sent mine away, and then they sent it back saying we need more videos, more pictures, blah blah blah. So I just took 1,000,000 pictures, sent it through. I've also done a certificate in animal studies prior to this as well. So I worked in the vet surgery for 2 years. I don't know if that probably helped a little bit, because I had experience housing and caring, and a certificate saying that I can house and care and hold different sorts of animals. So that's basically the first part that you need to be aware of. The enclosures need to be lockable, completely lockable, separate key, all the time locked, key kept separate away. And again, you must have another sign of the first aid treatment for a snake bite or funnel web bite or a spider bite. Yeah, so Venomous first aid sheet up on the wall. I've got one just there. That's the first aid of what happens if you get bitten, just in case that someone walks in here and I'm found unconscious or whatnot, and they can look up on the wall and they know what to do straight away because I'm in the venomous room. That's another big one. So make sure that you have all adequate signs as well. Also need to have holding cells, so when you're cleaning your cages out or whatnot, somewhere that's lockable and that you can put the snake into, lock it, secure it while you're cleaning out their enclosures. That's another thing that you have to prove as well. But again, more signage the better, more tools the better, more pictures the better. Send that through. So now what we're going to be doing, I'm going to talk to you about once you have got that license, there's a tier system that you have to follow. So there's 3 tiers, and the first tier involves the red belly black and spotted black blue belly. So the tier system's a bit strange. I think on my experience so far of just reading through of what animals are kept on each tier, I'm assuming it's to do with the housing. So because in the first tier we've got the red belly black, so Pseudechis parthericus, and then we've got the spotted black, which is Pseudechis guttatus. But the thing is with these 2 snakes is that the red belly black is somewhere probably like 20th in the world venomous, and then the spotted black is that 15, somewhere in the 15 in the world of venom. So that's quite high up in the venom scale of things and the most deadly snakes. And it is, the spotted black is the most venomous black snake that we have in Australia. So keep bearing that in mind. Obviously you have to be very careful with every single animal, but it's I'm assuming it's to do with the housing, so the keeping, how easy it is to keep these animals. Because in Queensland here, red bellies, they're found bottom half of Queensland down to New South Wales, and then spotted blacks southeast corner into New South Wales as well. So they're quite used to a few chilly nights. Obviously nothing too drastic where it snows or anything, but like chilly nights, and they're pretty strong against heaps of heat, dryness, wetness. Like they are an all-round animal that's pretty strong. So I'm assuming that the tier system is designed to protect the animals as well as yourself. As well as yourself. In tier 2, it's a bit different because there's some snakes in there that the spotted black would be more venomous than, and it's just the care level that you would have to give that animal to keep it in a close. It might need a mister, it might need chilled nights, it might need there's just different things for different animals that you will have to learn as you go, and that's one of the requirements as well. You have to know about the animals. Every animal that you get, even with your normal recreational license, you should be looking, you should be studying for weeks, months beforehand or before you get an animal, so you know exactly the requirements it takes to look after that animal. In the tier 2, so tier 2, we've got the greater black whip snake. We also got the lesser black whip snake, the broad-headed snake, the death adder, copperhead, small-eyed snake, the tiger snake family, all the rest of the black snake family, so your mulgars and all that, and your mile snake. I'm not sure what a mile snake is. It probably has a different common name, but I'm going to look into that. But okay, and then so as you can see in that tier 2, that some of those snakes aren't as deadly as the spotted black or the red belly, but the care levels to look after those snakes would be more elegant and more touchy with temperatures and moisture, humidity. You need to know your stuff a bit. Each tier system, you can't just apply for a tier system. You have to hold at least one animal from each tier for a year before you can upgrade to the next tier. And just on your record book, that they will see that you can look after that animal. No escapes happened. Minimal deaths has happened unless it's for a decent reason. And then, yeah, so that's basically what they're looking for. And then in tier 3, you got your taipans, your browns, and your rough scale. And tier 3, to me, just shouts, I'm bloody dangerous, mate. So these guys are top notch. They're clever. They're smart. You got the neurotoxins in these snakes are top 5 in the world, you know. So they're pretty deadly. And also have experienced taipans. So your inland taipan, they're more chill than not. Obviously, it's just because they don't come in contact with many people. But your like coastal taipan, he's a thinker. He's thinking. He's a scary man. He will know when he strikes. He will only strike if he's 85% chance of trying to get you. Like he's onto it. So they're very whippy too. So your brown snakes. So if you handle a brown snake that hasn't been kept or tamed down a little bit, they are whipping around crazy. They're bundle of joy, those guys. So just in the tier 3, it would be about the potency as well as the handling requirements, and from the top of my head, I'm pretty sure they're not too bad to look after. So it's not too much in the housing of them. In Queensland, those snakes are few and far between. They're around the area, so they are used to this climate. So, but anyway, so yeah, so tier 1 is Pseudechus red belly, Pseudechus spotted black, and then it moves over to a little bit more harder to look after. And then tier 3, holy shit balls, these guys are crazy. So you just got to be ready for that. So that's the tier systems in Queensland. And it is a bit annoying because in other states they can get their venomous license and just go buy a taipan. But it's a bit crazy due to they will have lack of knowledge and lack of handling experience and all of that, and they're grabbing one of the most cleverest snakes we have here in Australia. So I'm gonna get out my little red belly Gandalf, and I also just required my spotted black python as well. It's really small. I'll see how I go getting it out. If not, I'll just show you a nice video of him anyway. The smaller a lapid is, the harder it is to handle. Obviously monster ones too, because they can reach you even further than your arm reach. But the smaller ones are so capable and so quick, they can just you touch their tail and they're back on their tail real quick. There's no real time delay before that snake tags you. So you have to make sure that you're always prepared. This is just when you get your venomous license, you'll you'll be prepared. That's the whole thing. So Queensland, I understand why Queensland's doing this, but I also, as a keeper myself, find it very frustrating because I went to go purchase a Death Adder and they were like, "Oh, you need a tier 2 system." I was like, "Oh, really? That's right." And then I went back on there and then looked it all up and then, yeah. So that's why I'm making this video, just to help other people out in Queensland who are looking to get the Venomous license. Anyway, we'll get in to the red belly and the spotted black. They're both really young. The red belly is about, what, 16 months old, or like, yeah, 16 months old probably. I got him as a yearling. I've had him for about 5 months. And then the spotted black is just hitting up to a yearling now, not even. He was born, I'm not sure when he was born, but around Christmas. So he was just this year, but he's going to the yearling now. So we'll get onto that just so you can see some action. But apart from that, just the main things: first aid, signs, your equipment, venomous handling room, pure, snake proof, locked, ready to go, and obviously just you have to just prove with references that you've done this before. So basically, guys, I've got the red-bellied black snake here and the spotted black here. So they're in the same corner, near each other, roughly the same care and housing. So I'm just going to try to get Gandalf out and demonstrate a couple of things what you have to do. So always look first. He's coming out of his house now because I think he's getting fed. But you gotta know where he is before you open the door. If you see them here and you still need to get them out, use your hooks, use everything, don't use your hand. So another thing is that visibility. So if you can, remove items to make your visibility better. But I've left these pretty bland, just so socialization for me, so I can go when I'm working around them. They see me walk past, they see me doing everything, I know where they are, and they just got to hide, heat spot, water, a little bit of substrate. So basically you use your hook and you lift up the hide with the hook, so you know where he is. So he's over there, so you can reach in, you can grab the hide out. These guys are going to be nice and warm because I didn't let them brumate this. I didn't let them brumate this year, so that it's going to be nice, bloody warm, and ready to go. Calm down. So this is a red belly. As you can see, people say these are nice placid snakes. As a young snake like this, you can just see how quick he's moving around. His the ability of these snakes, you have to make sure that you are fully aware that even the most docile snakes that they say are fully capable of ruining your day. So and in saying that too, Australian elapids still, even our black snakes, are still more venomous. Woo! This is a bit feisty today. More venomous than most of the venomous snakes in other parts of the world. Oh, he's angry, hey? Not too sure why he's so angry, but here we go. Yeah, this is Gandalf, Pseudechus Pertheriacus, and he's about 1.5 years old. As I said before, these guys are quite not in the top 10 or anything, but they are still quite venomous. Very fast active neurotoxin, as well as the hemotoxin, as well as the flesh, the local tissue toxin as well, which can cause rotting. They're basically the same as the spotted black, but the spotted black's neurotoxin, it's got a more high dosage of neurotoxin in it, and that's what causes it to be a little bit higher up on the deadly scale. I'm just going to bring you in here because this guy's a lot smaller. And as you can see, small snakes are a lot harder to look after. So he's right there. I'm just going to try to move this hide out. I'll put this phone down for a second. So yeah, this guy is the spotted black. There's a couple localities of these guys as well. But again, they're not being part of the black snake family. People think that they aren't as bad as they sound, but they definitely can hold an epic punch. But yeah, he's quite beautiful. He's kind of like a red phase, I'm thinking, hopefully, because there's ones that are just full black, and then there's ones that are really spotty and are really spotty and beautiful, actually. So there's some quite beautiful species of these guys. They do hood up. They hood up like a cobra. I'm just trying to get him. I don't like annoying him too much, obviously. Yeah, beautiful snake. So obviously I don't like handling them too much when they're that little, as they're very hard, very hard to handle. Yeah, so they're very hard to handle when they're that little. So basically I'm doing this because these animals interest me. I'm trying to move forward and get my exhibit license in the future, and I just like. So yeah, I just want to get into my get my exhibit license, just so I can like educate people, educate kids, educate new generations, just educate everyone a little bit, because I'm learning all this myself now. I'm really fresh to it, and I'm just slowly studying and slowly getting further and further and pushing that dream. Basically, ooh, wait up. This could be why the red belly was such on edge, because his next door neighbour, the spotted black, he can probably sense it and smell it. So this is probably why he's acting a bit crazy than normal. Normally he's not running around like that. Normally I get him out pretty easily. But yeah, they're both a little bit on edge. They can probably sense each other. Maybe having this enclosure for them isn't the best. Being so close to each other and being different species. Yeah, that's just it. So I'm just learning every day, and by doing this, I'm studying my own animals. I'm doing it hands-on, and I'm learning. And I don't know everything. I don't claim to know everything. I just am learning. So my goal is to get the exhibit license, do some demonstrations with my birds, with my reptiles, keep kids and people aware about venomous reptiles, how easy it is to prevent getting bitten, how easy and why snakes are in your area, and just like educating people about snakes as well. Snakes are vital for the ecosystem, otherwise we would have plagues of mice and rodents and lizards and geckos and frogs and other species of snakes. Like, snakes are a very important role in the ecosystem, and even the animals that eat snakes would suffer if we just killed all the snakes. So like, an ecosystem works together as one with every species of animal, every plant, every organism. So that's basically, I'm trying to study all that stuff now. I'm trying to get into conservation, so I can help get endangered animals, reproduce them, release them back into the wild where they're from. And to be able to do those kind of things, I have to know what I'm doing. I have to demonstrate to you guys, demonstrate to wildlife and parks, that I know what I'm talking about and I know what I'm doing. And so, yeah, so that's what I'm striving for, and that's what I'm aiming for. So, all my knowledge now is just what I've grasped over the years. I've been studying pretty full on for the past like 3 years, and just getting more and more involved in this. I've always been pretty involved in animals, and now I've just upgraded to the next level, to learn and to be able to demonstrate more exciting, more unfamiliar animals. So people that, because some of these animals people just feel disgusted. There's good snakes, dead snake, and I just want to help change that thought pattern. And I also want to just help just push the awareness of how we really need to start looking out for the land around us and the ecosystems around us before we drive this into the ground completely. Australia's getting more populated. We're pretty lucky still now, but give it another 10 years, we're going to be overpopulated. So taking that for granted, we need to try to get new laws in place, environmental laws. I know there's tragedies down in New South Wales, with them knocking down into the koala sanctuary. The government's just like, yeah, go do it, shh. But they've turns out you got a they got caught basically cutting down century-old trees that were not part of the plantation or anything, and they were actually part of the koala sanctuary. So that blew up. I think they hit it pretty good. But anyway, so there's just lots of things going around. Great Barrier Reef, I know the Great Barrier Reef, they're trying to cut a channel into the Great Barrier Reef. I don't know if they have or if they've prevented that from happening yet, but I know they're trying to cut a channel in the Great Barrier Reef so they can get boat access. But everyone knows that you cut into the Great Barrier Reef, you're destroying one of the 7 wonders of the world. You can see it from space. It's some of the biggest, largest ecosystems. The amount of fish and animals living there, like, it's just stupidity. So we just need to be, that's what I want to do. So that's what I want to do. I just want to push that, get it out into the youth and get it into the uneducated, and while doing so, educating myself more so I don't sound like a fool. But yeah, anyway, cheers. Winter blooded, and I'm sure we'll catch up soon. I got some frill neck lizards to show off, and yeah, go from there.
I heard some weird noises by the river here. I don't know what the fuck it is though. The fuck is that? It's a wild Brendan! He's a kid!